What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. We are going to do a full review on Brad Pitt's new movie Formula One that just dropped here this weekend. This one will contain spoilers, so if you're wanting to see the movie and not have any kind of spoilers associated, now is your warning to go ahead and close the video. Come back to it later. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I initially had heard about this movie from when I had went and seen Lilo and Stitch. I saw it pop up as one of the trailers, and I was like, that actually looks really interesting. I want to go check it out. So looking at the cast that we had, obviously we had Brad Pitt, we had Carrie Condon, we had Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, and they even actually managed to get some of the legitimate Formula One racers in there as well, none of which I am familiar with. I don't know the first thing about Formula One racing, except for the fact that it is one of the most just awesome races. I mean, there's a huge following that America is really starting to get behind. It's starting to go really big mainstream and whatnot like that. But anyway, I digress. So we look at the story here, and Brad Pitt's character is he's a racing junkie is kind of what it comes down to. He had an accident when he was younger, and then ever since then he kind of is just always chasing another race. He's living out of a van, he's kind of washed up per se, and then out of the blue his buddy comes up and says, listen, I need a driver for Formula One. Why don't you chase that dream that you always had of winning a Formula One race? Mix that in with the young and up-and-coming Formula One driver that gentleman already has on his team. They kind of butt heads. You kind of have like the up-and-coming story of maturity with that of that character mixed with Brad Pitt's character of already kind of having that experience and kind of that like mentorship, a baptism by fire story that we have seen done time and time again through different storytelling methods, whether it be the sports and the athlete or whether it be, I mean, you insert. We've all seen that kind of arc before. So that's kind of what we're looking at here with this one. And it was done a lot differently than I thought it was going to be. I think I wasn't truthfully expecting there to be as much of a story in the film as there actually ended up being. I wasn't expecting the complexity to Brad Pitt's character, Sonny Hayes, that they ended up having in there. And they unfolded it very, very differently than I think what I expected, just in the sense of like kind of the recklessness behind Sonny and his driving. And that was kind of like his thing, and it was really attractive. It was very appealing to watch and to see that play out through the races. Now, again, myself not knowing the first thing about Formula One, I don't know how much of that is tied in realism, and so I don't know where that line between realism and Hollywood kind of gets blurred or doesn't get blurred when it comes to the Formula One racing, but they did it in such a way that it made sense. They had the rules of the racing that were incorporated into that. They had conversations, and there were story points that were specific to the aerodynamics of the vehicle, when to put on hard tires, soft tires, track heat, tire heat, need to pit stop, don't pit stop, all of these things that were also, I mean, it's part of the nuts and the bolts to actual Formula One racing, but it was such a crucial part in telling this story, not just while they were on the track, but then also when they were off the track, and the relationships that were developing between the characters and how that played into the bigger story that was being told as well. So it was written very, very well from that perspective. Brad Pitt played Brad Pitt. He's kind of always that sly, charming, kind of, edgy American dude. So there was definitely that was going for him, but it fit really well, and he kind of stuck out like a sore thumb by design. Amongst a bunch of European cast, which, selfish note for me, love the accents. Carrie Condon's character had a little bit more of the Irish going on, and that is a weak spot for me personally. So it was really fun to just kind of listen to all of that dialogue go through the movie as it was. All in all, I really don't have anything bad to say about the movie. It was a bit long, and like I said in the quick take, I think there was a couple of points where they justifiably could have ended it, and I wouldn't have had any complaints. But again, I understand why it dragged out the way that it did. I do think that I would have liked to have seen the ending be a little different. I think I would have rather seen Sonny Hayes not get the first place victory. Maybe he gets on the podium or just outside the podium, but he really helped finish pushing Joshua to win his number one, and then Joshua walk away and lead the team like he ended up doing. So I think I would have kind of rather seen that like coach lift up the young and up and comer a little bit more than what ended up happening. Again, I'm not mad about the way they did it though, because it still showed that maturity. It still showed that character growth out of Joshua Pierce in kind of the cocky, arrogant, up-and-coming driver that he was. I mean, there was still very good character growth done. I just wish that it would have been done a little differently. I think the ending that I was waiting for, because of a lot of the things that they alluded to and a lot of the things that they told us about Sonny Hayes' background, I was really waiting in that final race, in those final 3 laps, the sprint, where it was just put everything on the table. This is what it is. This is where the miracle was that everyone all movie long had been talking about, that they had never seen before. They'd never seen a miracle happen until right then and there, right? I was waiting for Sonny Hayes to die. I think there was so many things that kind of like teased that at us throughout the entire film, that he's been cheating death for so long, and then we see his racing style throughout the entire film, and how many times that just ended badly, and then we had a scare with Joshua Pierce where we thought maybe we were going to lose him for a little bit there. So part of me was really expecting it to be that we were going to lose Sonny Hayes, and then in his memory, Joshua was going to win the race, and then he was going to be a better racer and a better team leader, and again, that story arc, it didn't happen. I wasn't mad about how they did it. So kudos again to the writers and to the directors about leading me down that one path and keeping me on my toes. And then right when I felt like I was comfortable, pulling that out from underneath me and giving me a different direction in the story than what I had thought. So kudos to them. Very well written. Very well executed on that. All in all, I think it's worth seeing in the theaters, guys. It was a fun movie to watch, especially if you can get near some of the speakers. Shout out to Marcus Theaters for having such a great place for me to experience this movie on opening weekend, on opening night specifically. Was a lot of fun there. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend and you want to go check out a movie that's just kind of fun to watch, even though you don't know jack squat about Formula One or racing or that kind of culture, go check it out. I think it's definitely worth it. I don't think if you're putting it up against some other competitors like Ballerina or How to Train Your Dragon or something like that, if you're, again, not a die-hard Formula One person, I don't think this is the top of the list. I think there are other movies that might give you a little bit more oomph as far as, if you're only narrowing it down to see one. But definitely no hard complaints on this film. I was pleasantly surprised with that. But anyway, if you have seen the movie, or if you are maybe getting some opinions about the movie yourself, drop those down in the comments. I would love to see what those are. Give this video a like. It helps out a ton. Hit that subscribe button for the channel so you are made aware for the next time that I do a quick take or a full take here. And until next time, guys, see ya.